हरे कृष्ण। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद्-भागवतम की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। श्रीमद्-भागवतम in story form, chapter 137. The sages' teachings at Kurukṣetra. Sacrificial ceremonies performed by Vasudeva. Canto 10. Pritha, Gandhari, Draupadi, Subhadra, and the wives of other kings, as well as the cowherd girls, all became filled with admiration for Krishna's queens after hearing of their deep love for him. As the women were thus conversing, all the great sages from all directions arrived there, being very eager to see Lord Krishna and Lord Balrama. Among them were Vyasadeva, Narada, Chavana, Devala, and Asita, Vishwamitra, Bharadwaja, Gautama, Lord Parasurama, along with his disciples Vasishta, Vrigu, Pulastha, Kashyapa, Atri, Markandeya, Brihaspati, the four Kumaras, Angira, Agastya, Yagyavalka, and Bamadeva. As soon as they saw the sages approach, the assembled kings, including Krishna and Balrama, stood up and then bowed down to offer respect. They offered the sages a proper reception with words of welcome, sitting places, water for washing their feet, drinking water, flower garlands, incense, and sandalwood paste, as well as palatable food. After all the sages were comfortably seated, Lord Krishna began to speak on behalf of the kings while everyone listened with rapt attention. The Lord said, "Our lives are now successful, for we have obtained the audience of great masters of yoga. How is it that persons who are not very austere and who recognize God only in his deity form in the temple can now see your can now see you, inquire from you, bow down to you, and serve you in other ways? Traveling to places of pilgrimage and perform worship in the temples of the demigods will purify one very gradually. On the other hand, saintly sages purify one immediately upon being seen. Ordinary religious activities cannot free one from all sinful reactions because the performer continues to see in terms of material duality. But service to enlightened sages destroys one's sins completely. Even if such service is executed for just a few moments, one who identifies the body made of bile, mucus, and air as the self, one who feels that his wife and other relatives are permanently his own, and who considers the land of his birth to be worshipable, one who goes to a place of pilgrimage just to bathe there without approaching those self realized persons who can give enlightenment. Such a person is no better than a cow or an ass. All the sages greatly appreciated Krishna's speaking about the absolute philosophy of life so concisely and with such gravity. At the same time, they were bewildered to see how the Lord was speaking like an ordinary human being. After silently pondering over Krishna's words for some time, the sages smilingly replied, "O Lord, your power of illusion has totally bewildered us, even though we are supposed to be the most exalted knowers of the truth. How amazing is the behavior of the Supreme Lord! He covers himself with his human like activities and pretends to be subject to superior control. Your human like pastimes are just a pretense. Effortlessly, you manifest the variegated creation, maintain it for some time, and then swallow it up again. Still, from time to time, you assume a human like form for the purpose of protecting the principles of religion. The Vedas are your heart, and from the Vedas you can ultimately be understood. The learned Brahmanas are the via media whereby one can realize you through the evidence of the Vedas, and for that reason you are the foremost worshipper of the Brahmanas. Today, our birth, education, and austerity and power of vision have become perfect because we have been able to associate with you. We are the ultimate goal of all saintly persons. Indeed, you yourself are the supreme blessing. Let us offer our obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who has disguised his greatness through the agency of his mystic Yoga Maya. Even the Yadus who enjoy your intimate association do not know you as the soul of all existence, for you are covered by the curtain of Yoga Maya. Just as a dreaming person imagines an alternative reality and forgets his waking identity, one who is bewildered by illusion can perceive only the names and forms of material objects and cannot know you. Today we have directly seen your lotus feet, which perfect yogis can at best meditate upon within their hearts. We are now aspiring to become your unalloyed devotees. Kindly bestow your causeless mercy upon us. After offering their prayers, the sages took leave of Lord Krishna, Dhritarashtra, and Maharaja Yudhishthira and prepared to return to their ashramas. Seeing them about to depart, Vasudeva approached the sages, and after bowing down and touching their feet, he said, O greatly learned Brahmanas, please tell me by what supreme fruitive activity all the sinful reactions to one's work can be counteracted. As the leader of the sages, Narada replied, O Brahmanas, it is not surprising that Vasudeva is inquiring about his own welfare. After all, he considers Krishna to be his son. So, of course, he does not regard Krishna with awe and veneration. Just as one who lives on the shore of the Ganga may travel to a distant holy place for purification, the Supreme Lord's awareness is never diminished or disturbed by the creation or destruction of the cosmic manifestation or by anything else. Nonetheless, ordinary persons think that the Lord is covered by his own creations, just as one may consider the sun to be covered by clouds or an eclipse. Although Narada in effect said that no further instruction need be given to Vasudeva, some of the other sages continued speaking as follows. It has been definitely concluded that the reactions to work can be counteracted by the performance of sacrifice for the satisfaction of Lord Vishnu. This is the most auspicious path for a religious householder. An intelligent person should learn to renounce his desire for wealth by performing sacrifice and giving charity. He should renounce his desire for wife and children by experiencing family life, and he should renounce his desire for promotion to higher planets in the next life by studying the effects of time. Of course, you and your wife must have previously worshipped the Lord perfectly, so that now he has accepted the role of your son. After hearing this, Vasudeva offered obeisances to the sages and requested them to become his priests. The sages agreed and then asked Vasudeva to begin collecting the necessary paraphernalia. When it was time for Vasudeva to be initiated into the performance of his sacrifices, the Vrishnis arrived there, along with their wives, after having bathed and dressed themselves very nicely, carrying the necessary auspicious items for worship. All around there were dancers, accompanied by musicians and recitations by the Sutas and Magadhas, while the Gandharvas sang along with their wives. Vasudeva sat in the sacrificial arena along with his 18 wives, and he was initiated by the performance of the Abhishek bathing performed with various substances. Vasudeva was dressed in deer skin, and when Krishna and Balarama came and sat in the sacrificial arena along with their family members, it appeared as if the Supreme Personality of Godhead was present along with his parts and parcels and multi energies. The sacrifices were then performed by offering oblations into the sacred fire in accordance with the proper rituals, chanting of mantras and suitable paraphernalia. At the completion of the sacrifices, Vasudeva remunerated the priests with gifts of ornaments, cows, land, and marriageable girls. Finally, the sages supervised the performance of the Patni Samyaja ritual and the Avabrita ritualistic bath. And then all together they went to bath in the lakes created by Lord Parshurama. After this, Vasudeva and his wives distributed all the clothes and ornaments they had worn for the sacrificial performances in charity to the singers and dancers. Then, after dressing in fresh garments, Vasudeva fed everyone sumptuously, beginning from the Brahmanas down to the dogs. At the time of their departure, Vasudeva gave valuable gifts to his relatives, the visiting royalty, the priests, and indeed all others who had come there to participate. Taking permission from Lord Krishna, the assembly left for their various kingdoms while talking about Vasudeva's wonderful sacrifices. The Yadus and Kurus fondly bid one another farewell, but out of affection, Nanda Maharaja and the other residents of Vrindavana remained for some time. After performing the sacrifices, Vasudeva felt very satisfied, as if all his deeply cherished aspirations had been fulfilled. Surrounded by his family members, Vasudeva came and took Nanda Maharaja by the hand and said, "The Supreme Lord has created the knot of affection that binds all human beings together. Even great heroes and yogis find it very difficult to free themselves from such attachment. Such an exalted person as you never stopped showing matchless friendship for ungrateful persons like us. We could do nothing to reciprocate with you because of being imprisoned by Kamsha. And even now, we are so blinded by the intoxication of material opulence that we continue to ignore your good self. May a person who wants the highest benefit in life never gain royal opulence, for it makes him blind to the welfare of others. His heart having become very soft, Vasudeva wept while remembering Nanda's friendly dealings with him. To reciprocate, Nanda continuously delayed his departure, saying, "I will be leaving later today, and then I shall leave tomorrow morning." In this way, he remained for 3 months, being highly honored by all the Yadus. At last, after receiving profuse gifts of precise jewelry, fine linen, and household furnishings, Nanda Maharaja took leave from Vasudeva, Ugrasena, Krishna, Balrama, and the others. Nanda then departed, along with his family members and the other residents of Vrindavana, but their minds remained with Krishna and Balrama. Seeing how the rainy season was approaching, the members of the Yadu dynasty decided to return home. After arriving at Dwarka, they described to the people all that had happened on their tour, and especially about how they had met with their loved ones. Hare Krishna.